Rap has become filled with blood and death in lyrics that recreate beef and crimes on the street, and rappers have been going down left and right in the jail cell. ATK top hitter, Ksoo, has been feeling the backlash of his alleged deeds and disrespectful drill music while locked behind bars. Now officers may have a target on his back and attempted to assassinate his sister, abusing their power to make his life a living hell. Today, we're going to catch up on the Ksoo case, the recent beating by cops behind bars, and expose the possible hit put out by cops on his sister. The war between ATK and KTA has been going on for a minute, and even though many have been trying to push both Yungeen Ace and Foolio to squash the war, from influencers to even kids in the city, it seems an agreement has yet to be reached given the bloodshed in each camp.
Could anything ever happen to get you and Ace to sit across the table from each other and have a discussion?
I don't know shit.
With just you know, something that's not like a you know, person to person. Put everything on the table and try to move past it. Is that something that you think could ever even happen?
To be honest, I couldn't even answer that question. I really don't know. I'm honest. I don't know.
Could there be anything that could be done with, let's just say, you and Yungeen Ace sitting down together and saying, look, a lot of fuck shit happened on both ends, but we have to just basically, you know, we don't have to be friends, but we got to get past this and kind of just move on with our careers because we're both successful in our own way.
It probably happen sooner than later. You never know what God got planned, you know? I told him that a couple times, you know? We be talking time to time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what can happen. You know, like, it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? We want to kill each other now. We just mutual.
Is there a way for you guys to say, look, like, we don't have to be friends. We don't have to do music together. We don't have to hang out. But we could basically put whatever happened, all the bullshit that happened back and forth behind us. We're not going to talk about each other anymore. We're not going to diss each other anymore. I did my songs, you've done your songs, but we're really going to just end it at this point.
I really just want, what's best for the city. You know what I'm saying? I really want the whole city just to be great.
What would you guys want to say to Yungeen Ace if you could say something to him?
Quit the violence. My mom, know your mom. Just quit the violence. Like, we don't want to get into this, and especially when we live close to your block, that's not real good.
And also, I feel like y'all need to stop all this violence talking about each other's dead relatives. Cause I know in some part of your heart, you feel messed up. Just how I said I wasn't on no side. Like, when I heard them talk about how Baby got on the floor and he was crawling, screaming, please don't shoot me. It was sad because you laughed at it like it was a joke. Death is not a joke. Death is something you don't want to play with. Cause when you die, you're gone.
The bodies have piled so much that it's getting even more difficult to achieve a ceasefire. Both have lost people to the streets and to the jail system, but ATK head shooter and Ace's right-hand man Ksoo is one that has been feeling the consequences of the lifestyle in the worst way. Currently, the ATK Savage is behind bars in relation to 2 murders involving the 2019 shooting of Adrian Gaynor Jr., aka Bibby Osama, and the 2020 hit of Charles McCormick, aka Lil Buck.
And gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone.
60 to 70 rounds had to be dropped in the course of maybe 15 seconds.
Sky 4 captured the large crime scene outside the Hilltop Village apartment complex off 45th Street just before 3 this afternoon. For several hours, the backside of the apartment complex was taped off as investigators collected shell casings and other evidence.
And while police have not released the victim's name, sources tell us it's Adrian Gaynor Jr. Tonight, News 4 Jax reporter Eric Avanier was there earlier and has the latest.
Family members have identified the 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed inside the parking lot of Hilltop apartment complex as Andrian Gaynor Jr. They say he was employed at a local McDonald's, attended school regularly, and was beginning to get on the right track. The person or people responsible for his death has not been captured, which is why we are not identifying neighbors who say they heard what sounded like a plethora of weapons being fired.
It sounded like it was Iraq out here, like multiple guns, like from different guns.
Sounded just like probably an AK-47 or something that would, shoot repeatedly without stopping.
The shooting happened while kids were returning home from school. Unfortunately, some of those children heard the gunshots and recognized the kid who was killed.
I was standing over there.
Tamika Gaines-Holly is the PTSA president of Ribault High School, who is currently running for city council. She says she was with a group of students from her school who knew the victim.
And they were saying, that's my friend. And I know he didn't know that was going to happen to him today. We didn't know that was going to happen. And I'm consoling a group of students from our school. They were getting got out of school when this happened.
This has to leave you outraged.
I am outraged.
And so is Northside Coalition President Ben Frazier, who was also on scene. Frazier recently called for a week-long ceasefire in response to a recent string of shootings. He's optimistic that the violence will slow down.
We can only hope that as we go through this date forward to March 2nd, that there will be still fewer of these kinds of incidents occurring in our city.
Eric Avigny, Channel 4, the local station.
And so far, a suspect hasn't been named, and we haven't been told what led up to the shooting. It's also unclear if the 16-year-old was the intended target.
Developing now, a father and son have been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting at an Arlington shopping center. 21-year-old Hakeem Robinson and his father, 49-year-old Abdul Robinson, are both in the Duval County Jail. Hakeem Robinson is charged with second-degree murder, and Abdul is charged with accessory after the fact. Investigators believe the two are involved in the shooting death of a man at a shopping center on Merrill Road back in January. That led to a police chase and manhunt in a nearby neighborhood. News4JAX reporter Corley Peel is joining us live. Corley, what else do we know about this father and son?
Sources tell us that Hakeem Robinson is known as a local rapper named Ksoo. At this time, it's unclear what he and his father's roles were in that deadly shooting, but our News4JAX crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says it's not unusual for fathers and sons to commit crimes together. In January, surveillance video captured two men running through a backyard, jumping a fence during a police chase following a deadly shooting at a shopping center on Merrill Road. 8 months later, JSO announced 21-year-old Hakeem Robinson is charged with second-degree murder, and his father, 49-year-old Abdul Robinson, is charged with accessory after the fact in connection to that deadly shooting. News4JAX crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says father and sons accused of committing crimes together isn't new.
It's an old adage that fathers are going to look out for their children, or for their sons in this case, no matter what.
Sources confirmed to News4JAX Hakeem Robinson is a local rapper named Ksoo. He became a part of a News4JAX story last year for his controversial album cover that featured photos of murder victims. A mother of one of the victims told us the photo of her son was in spite of his death and not a memorial. Jefferson says Robinson's music videos and lyrics could help show investigators what he's been up to.
It just increases investigators' curiosity as to, one, why he would continue to do this sort of thing, and two, what is there more that they don't know.
Sources tell News4JAX that some of the lyrics in Ksoo's music reference gangs and violence. At this time, police have not said if that deadly shooting was related to a gang. Reporting live from JSO, Corley Peel, Channel 4, the local station.
Corley, thanks. A third man, Dominique Barner, is also charged with second-degree murder in the January shooting on Merrill Road. News4JAX learned today Barner is also charged with second-degree murder in the shooting death of a bicyclist on Emerson Street last year.
Before we dive into the Ksoo story, let's clarify that his main op, Julio Foolio, was gunned down recently outside of a Holiday Inn hotel in Tampa, Florida. This happened June 23, 2024. So when you hear me mention Julio in the Ksoo story, this is referencing back to when Julio was obviously alive. So I don't want y'all in the comments, you know, those of you who think that y'all like extra ultra smart and you talking about Julio Foolio, he dead, nigga, that nigga been dead. Of course he's dead, bro. So that's why I have to make this disclaimer, so you don't embarrass yourself by trying to make me look dumb by trying to say that this dude is dead and how is he doing all of this stuff in the story and he's dead. All right, let's get it.
Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones, known as Julio Foolio, shot and killed in Tampa. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Riley Phillips. The rapper was celebrating his 26th birthday. This happened outside a Holiday Inn. If you could take a look at this video, you can see the bullet holes riddling the front of the windshield of this car. It's unclear if Foolio was in this car when it was shot up. On your side, Zach Wilcox joins us live now with more details on the shooting. And Zach, Foolio was a big name in Jacksonville's drill rap scene.
Yeah, that's right, Riley. Foolio had dozens of different videos on YouTube and 45 million views on one of the videos, millions on others. So he's big in Jacksonville's rap scene. He was also a frequent face on our newscast for his connection with violence around Jacksonville over the past few years. I counted 7 different articles that we published on our website since 2019 where Foolio was referenced in them. And at least 3 times that we've covered, he's been shot before, once grazing his leg, another time while he was over in Houston, and another time in his foot. So wanted to touch base though with our First Coast News crime and safety analyst about all of this. We did find out from Foolio's attorney that he was in Tampa celebrating his birthday. He'd been at an Airbnb that they rented. They exceeded occupancy at that Airbnb, which is when they left and went toward the Holiday Inn. And from Tampa Police's report, we know that he was killed there along with 3 other victims who were taken to the hospital for treatment there, and that there were 2 cars that they found with bullet holes as well in that parking lot. I talked with our First Coast News crime and safety expert just about what this means for Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and if there's any possibility of violence moving forward.
I think it only fuels it somewhat, and somebody will step up and take his place, and they see how successful he might have been and how much money he was making. You know, you end up copying him a little bit and carrying on his image a little bit.
Foolio's attorney said that they're not going to be commenting at this point while there's an ongoing investigation into his death, and he also asked us to respect the privacy of Foolio's family. In downtown, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.
All right, back to the Ksoo story. So crazy thing is, he went uncharged for Bibby's murder for approximately 2 years before authorities gathered evidence to lay the charges. By that time, he was already in prison for the hit that took Lil Buck's life. That paints a pretty clear picture of how dangerous he was. Getting charged for murder when you're already being charged for murder on a totally different case.
A local rapper linked to a violent gang in Jacksonville is in jail on 2 separate murder charges.
Hakeem Robinson was charged in connection with the 2019 murder of 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr. News4Jax reporter Corley Peel spoke with Gaynor's family tonight.
I still don't sleep, I still don't eat, and they still don't bring my baby back.
Corley is now joining us live.
Yeah, Corley, how was this arrest made?
Hakeem Robinson has already been here in Duval County Jail, serving time for a different murder in 2020. He was served an arrest warrant last week in connection to Adrian Gaynor's murder, and as long as Robinson is in jail, Gaynor's mother feels the community is safe. Hakeem Robinson sits in Duval County Jail with 2 separate murder charges. His latest arrest is in connection to the 2019 murder of 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor.
It's bittersweet. I'm glad they finally got him off the street so he can't hurt anybody else's baby.
Robinson has been in jail since September in connection to the 2020 murder of Charles McCormick Jr. His father, Abdul Robinson, is also in jail, charged with accessory after the fact in that same murder. Abdul Robinson Jr. is also suspected of murder in that case and is wanted by the U.S. Marshals. In a news conference last year, JSO says the Robinsons are a part of a violent drug trafficking organization called ATK, also known as ACE's Top Killers. Police say the group consists of 9 people. Abdul Robinson is the leader.
9 people, potentially responsible for 15 murders that we know of, and who knows what else.
Investigators say Adrian Gaynor was shot and killed at the Hilltop Village Apartments. A witness told police Hakeem Robinson shot Gaynor at a close range. Detectives say Robinson bragged about Gaynor's murder. Gaynor's nickname was Bibby. His mother says Robinson named an album after her son called Bibby Out. His picture is on the album cover with several other murder victims. Robinson also wrote about Gaynor in his songs, using the lyrics, "You know we smoke, little Bibby." What was that like seeing that?
Hell, that every video took my breath away. It took my family's breath away. My kids had to see that.
Gaynor would have celebrated his 19th birthday on Friday.
That was my light. They turned off my light.
Gaynor's mother hopes Robinson won't ever leave jail. Mad Dads has worked closely with Gaynor's family over the past couple of years. They say they are grateful that a witness came forward with information about Gaynor's murder, and they encourage more witnesses to speak up so that more families can get justice. Reporting live.
And a 22-year-old man already in jail on a murder charge had a second charge filed against him. Hakeem Robinson, who you see here, was charged on March 10th with second-degree murder in the death of Adrian Gaynor Jr., which happened back in 2019. Robinson had already been in jail for the same charge in the death of Charles McCormick. 2 others have been arrested in this case, and officers continue to look for another suspect, Abdul Robinson Jr.
Ksoo might have been partly to blame for getting himself hemmed up, well, fully to blame if he murked a man and kid, but police caught him lacking after numerous self-snitching incidents. Ksoo seemed to brag online about his criminal deeds, and cops didn't hesitate to use them against him.
Both men had social media accounts that police looked at in their investigation. On Robinson's Instagram, there was a story posted of a child singing a song entitled KSO Homicide by rapper Yungeen, a local rapper who has made headlines before. The video was posted after the murder of Charles McCormick. Also another story, which depicted Hakeem Robinson at a nail salon receiving a pedicure with the caption, "Kill a N-word, then go get my toes done." News4Jax crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says social media accounts like these and rap videos are often monitored by investigators because they will give coded clues in feuds between gangs.
Now that we know the backstory of how he's in jail, let's look at his situation behind bars since then. And man, has he been going through it. KTA main op Julio Foolio was blasted for laughing sometime back, saying that Ksoo was getting the beats behind bars and was called out by many for capping and clout chasing. Given Bibby was his mans and he took his death hard as hell, Foolio could have just been kicking the op responsible while he's down. But in October 2021, Ksoo's grandmother filed an internal affairs complaint after the incident that saw her grandchild being roughed up by prison officers. The prison personnel responded denying any wrongdoing.
Robinson's grandmother, Rosemary Walters, filed an internal affairs complaint after the incident in October.
Got a response back saying they didn't find anything wrong.
But video evidence would later surface showing a handcuffed Ksoo being pulled from his cell and struggling with a cop before another creeped up and suplexed the rapper to the floor. With the cat out the bag, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs reported on the incident, stating that Hakeem Robinson, aka Ksoo, refused to go back to his cell after shower and leisure time. This is where the story gets even more wild for a dude allegedly facing charges on 2 murders. The sheriff's office said that Ksoo got aggressive, yelling to the officers that they're always messing with him and that he was going to have his people, quote unquote, take care of him. Damn. Not only that, but they allege he went as far as telling the officer, "My people gonna kill you," when he was handcuffed and struggling outside his cell. They then say that Ksoo made a gurgling noise as if he was going to spit, And that's when the full-on resistance came, and the second officer had to powerbomb him into the concrete floor to subdue Ksoo. But wait, there's more. Reports state that Ksoo, after nearly being tombstoned to hell, was still struggling with officers and threatened to kill the officer once he's out of jail, saying, "I've killed people before. I'll do it again."
According to the Internal Affairs report, Robinson refused to go back to his cell after shower and leisure time. An officer puts Robinson in handcuffs. While exiting the cell, the report shows Robinson told the officer, "My people gonna kill you." It says he made a gurgling noise as if he was going to spit. He begins to resist. A second officer grabs him and drops him on the ground. While struggling underneath the officer, the report shows Robinson threatened to kill the officer once he gets back on the streets. He adds, "I've killed people before. I'll do it again."
God damn. They made Ksoo sound like a cold-blooded savage, but cross-referencing with his music and doing things like releasing an album cover with his dead ops on it, could you blame the police officers? Do you really think that they're telling the truth or lying?
Anniversary date, death date, they tried to kill her.
McFadden says another person on the album cover is Caleb Sheffield. He was arrested on attempted murder charges in connection to her daughter's shooting in May, but was released from jail 18 days later.
I just want the violence to stop. I want it to be where they can't just say and do anything. You already getting away with murders. Just leave it at that.
There's nothing like a mother's love for her child. And sure enough, she popped up on the news to fight for her son. Not only disgusted on how he's being treated behind bars, but painting a totally different image of her baby boy, saying, and I quote, "He's a lovable child. He's outgoing. He's fun. He's outgoing. Goofy. He's a sweet person."
That incident happened inside this jail back in October, and according to the Internal Affairs report, Robinson refused to go back to his cell and threatened to kill one of the officers. Robinson's mother says her son told her that an officer was messing with him leading up to the incident. This video of Hakeem Robinson struggling with two corrections officers is hard to watch for his mother, Ebony Walters.
Actually, when I first saw the video, it kind of scared me real bad.
With Ksoo going through it, his homie Ace tried to shed light on the situation, dropping his latest single, Off the Record, where he references scenes from the jail clip with Ksoo multiple times in the music video while rapping on the incident.
You know, he could be, this is acting, this is a career, this is acting, this is a job. He's pretending, you know, this is what the fans like, that's what he do. Because when he's not rapping, he's a totally different person. That's not Hakeem. He's a lovable child. He's outgoing. He's fun. He's hilarious. He's a goofy, a sweet person.
At the end of the track, he included a children's book about the case created by Ksoo's lawyer, Christopher DaCosta.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher DaCosta and Tara Kawas on behalf of Hakeem Robinson.
Good morning. Let's just make sure he comes out here. All right, Mr. Robinson, if you'll look on that big screen to your left, do you see your attorneys at the bottom waving at you?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you all see and hear your client standing behind the podium?
We can, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, and of course he's here for pretrial in both of his cases. So what is the update?
Yes, you heard right, a children's book. Truth is, it's kind of a brilliant move. It takes the prosecution's case of how Ksoo was identified as the shooter by height and size and mocks it with facts that contradict, showing those descriptions can never fit Ksoo. One thing's for certain, his lawyer is good at what he does. That's the first time I've seen a stunt like that. The prosecution intends to do a body scan of Ksoo to get his body dimensions to compare it to a surveillance video of the alleged shooter to show it fits him, but Ksoo's lawyer is doing his best to throw a wrench in that plan.
With the computer generated, this is done a lot of Hollywood, that an actor will be scanned and then used for animation. So the question that I would ask to the government through the court is that with these scans, will there be an attempt to then recreate the commission of the crime with the data from the body scan?
You mean to create like an animation using the defendant's dimensions? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. It's done in CGI as well too. They scan the body.
It's not Hollywood, and that would certainly require a ruling by me to even allow that to happen. These computer-generated animations are few and far between, I get admitted, either in criminal or civil trials, quite frankly. But I'll ask Mr. Cooper then, is that the intention of the state? To create a computer-generated CGI-type animation using the defendant's dimensions that might be gathered from a digital scan to recreate the homicide?
No, Judge, it's the state's intention to ascertain his height and the body dimensions as I've previously described, and then once we have that information, compare that to the information that is on the video of the dash cam. The person that was seen chasing down and shooting the victim in this case, their entire body is captured on video. Based on a digital scan of the crime scene and a review of that video, this company will be able to ascertain mathematically the height and the dimensions of that person on the video. And again, by dimensions, I'm talking about height, possibly the length of their arms and legs. Once they have a digital scan of this defendant, they can then take that data and compare it to the data that's on that video. But we are not making a movie of this defendant gunning down the victim.
But within all this, there seems to be something much darker about how Ksoo is being treated behind bars and may involve a plot by law enforcement to target and eliminate key members of his family. Ksoo's mom claims that he called her and family members about the officer who angle slammed him. Oh no! It's the angle slam! Stating the officer was not only threatening him, saying he's going to rearrange his face, but also threatened his sister, saying, and I quote, "Your sister is dead." Now at first, this might all seem like propaganda to try to get out of prison on bias towards him by officers, but check this. That exact day that he claims the officer told him that, his sister, 31-year-old Corinna Robinson, was shot in her face. Luckily, she survived, but her jaw was damn near blown off. The story began taking a very ominous turn. With this new information, it turns out that the grandmother also included this in her original complaint letter when she found out about his treatment behind bars. The complaint also revealed that Ksoo had broken his wrist from the pile driver received from the cop. The news finally broke, detailing the situation connected to the officer allegedly telling Ksoo the news about his sister. Reports state that around the same time Ksoo was cuffed and hit with the Triple H pedigree in Duval County Jail, his sister, Corinna Robinson, was shot in the face by an alleged bail bondsman at Avenues Mall. Officers were dispatched to the mall for the shooting on October 5th at about 8 p.m. And the time on the surveillance video of Ksoo's jail altercation occurs on the same day at about 7:45 p.m. Scarily timed, right? Like it was really planned. The report further continued, stating that witnesses told officers they saw two males approaching two women at the mall, and the women dropped their belongings and fled in an unknown vehicle. A witness told police before the woman fled, she stated she heard some sort of popping sound, but did not witness anyone being shot. Ksoo's sister then reportedly fled the area with a female friend who transported her to Memorial Hospital for care with her jawbone blown off. Her sister Shia Robinson told First Coast News she had a tracheostomy to help her breathe. It's crazy she survived. Ksoo's family tough as hell. What makes this story even more plausible is that the heavily redacted police report states that the bondsman returned to the scene and told officers that he had been pursuing Miss Robinson for some time due to the outstanding warrants and skipping bond with his agency. According to Duval County Clerk of Court records, the warrants were related to crimes that included a couple dozen failures to appear in court, tampering with a monitoring device, and felony theft charges. Check this. The bondsman was let go scot-free, and the police refused to release his name or the company he worked with. After the possible failed assassination, Ksoo's sis was treated at the hospital and booked into Duval County Jail right along with her father, Abdul Robinson, and two brothers, Hakeem Robinson, aka Ksoo, and Abdul Robinson Jr. Cops label the family as a violent drug trafficking organization known as ATK, aka ACE's Top Killers, and is led by Ksoo's pops, Abdul Robinson.
In a news conference last year, JSO says the Robinsons are part of a violent drug trafficking organization called ATK, also known as ACE's Top Killers. Police say the group consists of 9 people. Abdul Robinson is the leader.
Ksoo's situation might be a part of the justice system's new, unorthodox method of serving justice to who they think is ruining the city of Jacksonville.
Councilwoman Jacoby Pittman represents this district. She's outraged.
For a 16-year-old to get off the bus, to come visit a relative and be shot in broad daylight, I got a problem with that. And everyone in this community is. We're tired of being sick and tired of every time that you turn on the television that there's a loss of a life.
The beef has been littered with bloodshed, and it's only a matter of time before the law gets aggressive with their attempts. As it stands, it seems Ksoo has a rough path ahead, both to prove his innocence, and if he can't, then to survive behind bars with cops allegedly on his head.
Well, y'all, they done got that boy. I say they done got that Julio Foolio boy. I told him they would go get him. Yeah, no, well, I didn't tell him they would go get him. I just knew they would go get him. Because the boy works hard to get got. Now that works hard to get shot on. Man, they shot his foot off last year, give him that pirate nub. Man, he supposed to still got his foot shot off, ain't supposed to be bouncing around on his birthday. Man, get somewhere and sit down and rest that foot and work your heel. Nigga supposed to be
He asked why I'm hitting this vape so hard live. This vape is the reason I got shot on, bro. I was going to get a vape for the gas station. That's how I got shot. That what happened. So I'm finna post this bit.
Julio Foolio has been tragically gunned down on his 26th birthday on 6/23/2024. He was fatally shot at his party along with other victims, but Foolio's injuries proved to be fatal. Once the news of his death hit online, people were in denial due to the numerous times he had been shot in the past and pulled through. Who were the shooters? What made them want to take Foolio out on his birthday? Before we can dive into that, we have to revisit the past beefs of Julio Foolio so we can gain a better understanding of the tragic event that occurred on his birthday. Julio Foolio was the leader of KTA, which stood for Kill Them All.
My bad.
I'm sitting blitz.
Julio Foolio and Yungeen Ace have been locked in a beef that has not only seen many lives lost, but made national headlines for bragging about their gangbanging on their Dead Ops and song. So how did this beef between YNR and ATK even get as heated as it did? Well, from everything that's been going around, it seemed to have started with ATK head honcho Yungeen Ace and one of YNR's most prominent members, YNR Mookie. The most concrete link between them seems to stem from a situation that played off at a party where both crews were present at. Things got a little heated and one thing led to another. An altercation broke out, and it's alleged Yungeen Ace doubled back with the pole, and shots went off behind YNR Mookie while his moms was close by. Mookie dodged a bullet, pun intended, but was grazed by one. While Mookie was plotting his revenge, Ace was out here stunting, making bangers off his willingness to off his ops with the hit single, Go to War. Ironically, in that track, the hook sings, "Don't wanna go to war with me. Mama's crying, dudes dying."
Just know what happened by Rod. Like, nigga, come on, bro. You know, man. Come on, stop being dumb, man. Like, you know what it is, man. Nigga ain't. Man, come on, man. I ain't on that shit, man. You pussy, man. Man, like, bro. No, tell a nigga drop they shit. Nah, I done dropped my shit. Tell a nigga drop they shit. They ain't get me when I drop my shit. They played. You feel me? They played. He told me he had my shit on done. You played. I bet you won't drop your shit, though.
On June 8th, 2018, Ace released a music video for another banger on World Star titled F That. In the song, you can hear the scenario of him busting guns in front of Mookie's moms with the lyrics, "Bitch had the nerve to up on me in front of my brother. I ain't scared, I ain't running, gotta go put me under." Spin back the same night and shot at him in front of his mama. Throughout the entire song, it was just him and his brother 23 in the visuals. Not his blood brother, but he considers him like family because of how close they were. 23's appearance in the video proves that the video was recorded beforehand for the upcoming release, because on June 5th, 2018, Ace almost lost his life after the ops caught him and his brothers lacking. He would be the only survivor.
Well, it was your brother's birthday. How old did he turn that day?
He had turned 18.
18?
Mm-hmm. And my other little brother, he had just turned 18 too.
Wait, so you had 3 of your actual brothers?
No, one of them was my blood brother, but other one like my best friend and another like right-hand man type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and they both, 2 of them turned 18 that day?
One of them turned 18, one of them turned 18 like 2 weeks before.
Okay, and then the fourth one was how old?
He was 19 at the time.
It made the song even more chilling seeing 23 in the clip alongside his bro in the life of the living. Reports state that Yungeen Ace would be targeted after celebrating his blood brother Trayvon Bullard's, aka Quan Quan, 18th birthday with dinner at Wasabi Japanese Steakhouse at the St. John's Town Center.
A shooter or shooters on the run after 4 teens are gunned down to the south side. What we're learning about the men killed in a drive-by shooting. 18-year-old Trayvon Bullard, 19-year-old Jacoby Groover, and 18-year-old Royale Smith. They lost their lives late last night.
Police say the shooter followed the 3 along with a 4th survivor from a restaurant at the St. John's Town Center to the Town Center Parkway, then opened fire. Sheriff Mike Williams says this shooting is gang-related, not an accident.
Not a random act of violence, obviously, and again, it's about encouraging young people to do the right thing and make sure you're engaged with the right people and you're hanging around the right people. And it's a tragedy, but one that could have been avoided.
Our news crews continue to follow this developing story. News4JAX' Eric Avignon joining us near Town Center Parkway, where shots rang out just 24 hours ago. Eric, a completely different scene there tonight.
Yes, you are very correct. As you can see behind me here, the Town Center Parkway is pretty much back to normal, which is a stark difference compared to last night around this time when this entire area was one major crime scene. Now, since then, we have learned a lot about those 4 victims. A family friend of Kenyatta and Trayvon Bullard tells News4JAX that the 2 brothers were out with Royale Smith and Jacoby Grover Tuesday night celebrating Smith's birthday when the celebration turned to tragedy. Police say the men were all riding together in this car on Town Center Parkway when people in another car that pulled up beside them started shooting at them. Kenyatta Bullard, who goes by the nickname Ace, was the only person in the car who survived the attack. A family friend says Kenyatta Bullard is an aspiring rap artist. His younger brother, Trayvon, goes by the name Quan. He had just graduated from Richview High School last week. Kashawn Price graduated with him. He says he learned about Trevon's death through social media.
I went on my Instagram, it was all over my feed. It was crazy.
Jacoby Groover was a standout football player at University Christian High School. He graduated last year. His former high school coach only had good things to say about him.
He was a good kid. Didn't really have any issues with him. He was always smiling. All his teammates loved him.
Police were dispatched to the scene at 10:53 p.m. and found a vehicle with 4 male shooting victims inside. 2 people were pronounced dead at the scene, 1 died at a local hospital, and 1 was left in critical condition. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said a vehicle pulled up next to a Chevy sedan, opened fire, and took off. They labeled the incident as a targeted hit based on an ongoing dispute between 2 groups and that the shooting is not a random act of violence.
I try to come forward, I try to hold RJ. I'm trying to hold him, I'm trying to RJ open the door. I open the door, I'm pushing him out. I'm like, bro, I got you, bro, I got you. He grabbed my shirt, like, bro, I can't move. He telling me he can't move, I jump out the car. Cope opened the door. Cope said, call everybody, it's Cope.
It was only a matter of time before Ace would heal up and gear up for war with his main man Ksoo. Together, they began their get back, upping the score on their ops. YNR and an extension KTA suffered the losses of their mans Charles McCormick, aka KTA Lil Buck.
On Robinson's Instagram, there was a story posted of a child singing a song entitled Ksoo Homicide by rapper Yungeen Ace, a local rapper who has made headlines before. The video was posted after the murder of Charles McCormick. Also another story, which depicted Hakeem Robinson at a nail salon receiving a pedicure with the caption, "Kill a N-word, then go get my toes done."
And 16-year-old homie, Baby Osama.
And gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone.
60 to 70 rounds had to be dropped in the course of maybe 15 seconds.
Sky 4 captured the large crime scene outside the Hilltop Village apartment complex off 45th Street just before 3 this afternoon. For several hours, the backside of the apartment complex was taped off as investigators collected shell casings and other evidence.
And while police have not released the victim's name, sources tell us it's Adrian Gaynor Jr. Tonight, News 4 Jax reporter Eric Avanier was there earlier and has the latest.
Family members have identified the 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed inside the parking lot of Hilltop apartment complex as Adrian Gaynor Jr. They say he was employed at a local McDonald's, attended school regularly, and was beginning to get on the right track. The person or people responsible for his death has not been captured, which is why we are not identifying neighbors who say they heard what sounded like a plethora of weapons being fired.
It sounded like it was Iraq out here, like multiple guns, like from different guns.
Sounded just like probably an AK-47 or something that would, shoot repeatedly without stopping.
The shooting happened while kids were returning home from school. Unfortunately, some of those children heard the gunshots and recognized the kid who was killed.
I was standing over there.
Tamika Gaines Holly is the PTSA president of Ribault High School, who is currently running for city council. She says she was with a group of students from her school who knew the victim.
And they were saying, that's my friend. And I know he didn't know that was going to happen to him today. We didn't know that was going to happen. And I'm consoling a group of students from our school. They were got out of school when this happened.
This has to leave you outraged.
I am outraged.
And so is Northside Coalition President Ben Frazier, who was also on scene. Frazier recently called for a week-long ceasefire in response to a recent string of shootings. He's optimistic that the violence will slow down.
We can only hope that as we go through this date forward to March 2nd, that there will be still fewer of these kinds of incidents occurring in our city.
Eric Avanier, Channel 4, the local station.
And so far, a suspect hasn't been named, and we haven't been told what led up to the shooting. It's also unclear if the 16-year-old was the intended target.
They caught Lil 9 lacking while driving, shot up his whip, sending him crashing into a store where he passed.
Right now at 10, police are searching for a gunman after a passenger in a car was shot and killed along a busy stretch of Atlantic Boulevard in broad daylight. Sky 4 giving you a bird's eye view. The shooting sent people in nearby buildings ducking for cover.
Just like pop, 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 pop. And like, it just happened fast, man. 10 seconds, maybe everything.
And this is surveillance video of the crash following that shooting in Arlington. We've highlighted the black car seen slowly driving down the street, a car police are now looking for in connection with this shooting. Police say the gunman fired about a dozen shots into the car, with one of those bullets striking the passenger.
News for Jax reporter Eric Avanier is live at that scene. Eric, as you join us, police are saying that this shooting could have had more victims.
Yes, police are actually shocked that there weren't more victims, considering the fact that the shooting happened in broad daylight on this very busy strip of Atlantic Boulevard, where you've got businesses all up and down the strip, including this store where police say the car carrying the gunshot victim crashed into the glass wall in the front. And get this, police say based on the shells that they recovered from the scene, the murder weapon appears to be a rifle. Not long before the parking lot of Rent-A-Will became a crime scene, surveillance video captured a gray Dodge car pulling into the parking lot and crashing as another car believed to be involved in the shooting slows down, then drives off. The area where the black car slows down is also the same area where police collected multiple rifle shell casings in the street, leading investigators to believe the shots were fired from the black car. A store owner across the street heard the shots.
Real rapid, loud gunfire. It seemed like maybe 12 to 15 shots.
Shots so loud that his customers and employees took cover.
There was a couple here, and the man grabs his wife away and says, "Baby, hit the ground." Like,
both police and our crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says the shooting could have injured or killed innocent bystanders, especially since the weapon appears to be a rifle.
I'm very surprised and very relieved that there was no other injuries involved in that, because you've got a heavily populated street with constant traffic going back and forth, and you've got a business right there.
Rifle rounds have the potential to travel great distances and ricochet and go in any direction. So
another witness we spoke with says the car that crashed had been parked at this gas station for 25 minutes with both the passenger and driver inside. Then he says moments after it left, he heard gunfire.
Wow, I just saw these people, just now, and look now, like what happened now. I didn't think about it that was gonna happen. That happened too fast.
Now, while a motive behind the shooting appears to be unknown at this time, our crime and safety expert says that this definitely doesn't look like a random act of violence. Reporting live in Arlington, Eric Avanier, Channel 4, the local station.
Ace and Ksoo really was shaking something back for real. They held no remorse, posting 9 laying on the floor lifeless and clowning, making jokes. Everyone was getting it. They even called Foolio himself lacking. Luckily, he survived being shot.
That nigga shot me, but they didn't kill me. On Kendrick. You fucking stupid.
Currently, Ksoo is behind bars fighting for his freedom from the hit on Lil Buck with his pops. Jacksonville rapper Julio was shot by his ops in his hometown while driving through a residential neighborhood near Paxton School for advanced studies. Even though Julio Foolio, whose real name is Charles Jones, survived the shooting, an image of the severe gunshot wound he suffered has made its way to the internet.
When I'm backing out, that zoom like behind me, it stopped. So I hit the bridge. I'm like, so I'm finna let that bitch get in front of me. I ain't finna let them get behind me. So that hop in front of me and we get to the next stop sign. That bust a left, hop out, go to blowing that down. Like the car went dry, so that stop. I'm like, damn, I'm dead. And that bitch on the drive, I hit the gas, smashed the gas to the next stop sign, bust the right. And that bitch went dry no more. I hopped out. I jumped behind like I don't know if it was a van or a truck. Hopped behind they. I was just laying there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, damn, I'm shot. So I get up, I'm like, I can't walk or nothing. I'm knowing my foot f***ed up. I knock on the people's door house, I'm like, I'm shot. Like, I'm bamming on that bit like I'm shot. Y'all open that bit, I'm hitting the rain camera and all. I'm looking through that bit. I see he's sitting on the couch. I don't know if he had headphones in or what. I'm bamming on that bit. He ain't paying me no mind on. Like, what the So I hopped back to the car and then I just drive to the hospital, hit 100, bro.
A lot of people, you know, I had to hit your line. A lot of people, you know, they've been dying to hear from you. A lot of people were concerned. A lot of people were confused. There's so many questions going on, as usual, with your name. But, I mean, we all know you got shot in the foot, you know, last week. And, you know, you don't have to tell us too many details. But, you know, we pretty much know, you know, you were driving, correct?
Yeah, I was driving.
Is this daytime, nighttime?
This like 5, 6 in the morning, probably 6:30, some shit like that.
In the morning. So you didn't go to sleep?
It was still dark. It was still dark.
Wait, 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
So I mean, did you wake up early? Did you not sleep that night?
Nah, I was up. I was up the whole night type shit. My dumb ass, I'm nicking. I wanted to go get a vape from the stove. So I hopped in the car and I guess I got.
Foolio managed to drive himself to the UF Healthcare Center after being shot, but not long before the 25-year-old's parents updated his fans on his condition. After checking himself into the hospital, a graphic image of Foolio's foot hit the internet, which has gone viral. A Florida rapper was shot and killed early Sunday morning while celebrating his 26th birthday in Tampa, who performed under the name Julio Foolio, was shot at a Holiday Inn after being kicked out of an Airbnb after a gathering exceeded occupancy limits, according to a statement from his lawyer.
And then I'm thinking, at the Holiday Inn, what the man, ain't no protection on at the Holiday Inn. They ain't got valet parking.
Social media posts show Jones promoting the pool party at the home in Tampa Saturday afternoon.
We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up. Got me drinking, cuz. I don't even drink, cuz. Hold on.
You supposed to have a chaser.
We came deep and fuck for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up the stairs. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as hell. We deep as hell. 20 deep. Lit everywhere we go. Got my brother with me. He done popped out for me for my birthday. He done time. It's double lit. Oh, God. Yeah. Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday!
Everybody got their shot, put their shot in the air, man. Okay, David. Everybody take this shit on 3, man. 1, 2, 3.
Added 24 on scene, working down our 46 off squad 10-4.
Breaking news, police say 4 people have been shot at a Temple Terrace Holiday Inn. Tampa police are still on scene of this fatal shooting. 8 Your Side's Chloe Sparks is joining us live with new information. Chloe, what's the update?
Stacy, this is the Holiday Inn Hotel right across the street from USF, the Tampa campus. We just spoke with police officials who tell us that 4 people were shot here in the parking lot, and one of those people died here on the scene. The other 3 people are currently at the hospital. Now, police say they received a 911 call to McKinley and Fowler Avenue around 4:40 this morning. They say that they were told 4 people were shot. Again, 3 of them transported to the hospitals, 1 dead on the scene. They believe that those 3 other people will survive. Now, they're trying to find out what led up to the shooting. What was the motive? They're looking for video. They're looking for any surveillance cameras outside this hotel, or maybe any guests that maybe saw or heard what happened. They're trying to interview any witnesses. We're told they actually are letting people into the hotel right now. They're all actually being escorted by police as this whole entire parking lot is blocked off with crime scene tape. Now we're told that these hotel guests should not feel like their safety is at risk because there are so many police officers out here. But again, they're out here trying to find out how many suspects they're looking for, and then again to get that suspect or suspects in custody. They said that it seems like those people who were involved in this shooting were coming to this hotel to get a room. It's unclear whether they were staying at this Holiday Inn, but again, 4 people shot in this parking lot behind me, 3 of those people injured, and 1 of them dead. We'll continue to work with police to find out more information this morning and report it back to you here on News Channel 8. Reporting live in Temple Terrace, Chloe Sparks, 8 on your side.
The statement from the rapper's lawyer said that the shooting was an ambush that took place in the hotel's parking lot. 3 other people were injured in the shooting but are in stable condition, according to a Tampa Police Department press release. The investigation is ongoing. Jones was previously shot at during violent incidents in 2023, 2021, and in 2020.
So it's ridiculous. I never condoned it, never condoned drill music. I don't condone the killing or none of that type of stuff.
The mother of a Jacksonville rapper who was killed in Tampa condemns the violence that led to her son's death. Good evening, I'm Keith Cate.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. The artist, whose real name is Charles Jones, was gunned down in June outside a hotel across from the USF campus. This evening, arrests have been made. We are also seeing dramatic new video of what happened that night. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur joins us now live from the Tampa Police Department with the very latest. Georgia.
Keith and Jen, Charles Jones' mother drove here today from Jacksonville with a plea to end the violence surrounding her son's death. She told me watching the video was hard, but Tampa police say the video proves the suspects drove here to Tampa with murder on their minds.
I'm very relieved.
Fans knew him as Julio Foolio, but to his mother, Sandrika Mays, he was simply her son, Charles Jones. On June 23rd, police believe Jones was trying to get a room at the Holiday Inn Hotel after he was kicked out of an Airbnb while celebrating his 26th birthday. Dramatic video captures the moment Jones was ambushed inside his car by 3 suspects.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Now turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Is there anybody else inside?
good.
On June 23, 2024, rapper Julio Foolio was gunned down in the passenger seat of a car as it drove through a Holiday Inn parking lot. The car was met with gunfire coming from a triangle, so Julio literally had no chance of survival. A shooting at a cluster of hotels near USF in June left one person dead and 3 others injured, according to the Tampa Police Department. Officials said the 26-year-old man died was Charles Jones, also known by the stage name Julio Foolio. Tampa Police Chief Lee Burkow, Hillsborough County State Attorney Susie Lopez, and Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters announced that 3 arrests had been made on Monday, July 29, 2024.
Tonight at 6, these 3 people are all facing murder charges in the death of Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones, also known as Julio Foolio. Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters had these strong words to say when announcing their arrests.
Today, 3 dangerous criminals are off our Florida streets and in police custody where they belong. These individuals have chosen lives of urban terrorism, and with their arrests, we show Tampa, Jacksonville, and the rest of Florida, the rest of this state, and we hold violent criminals accountable.
Sheriff Waters made that statement in Tampa this afternoon. That's where Julio Foolio was shot and killed outside his own 26th birthday party last month.
Police are still searching for 2 others who are connected to the shooting. News4Jax reporter Janice Harris is joining us live in the studio with details about that search for these other suspects. Janice?
Yes, police still looking for those 2 men, but Tampa police said the 5 people in total plotted and planned to kill Charles Jones following every step he made while he was celebrating his birthday. Police say they are still looking for the 2 men involved in Jones's murder, 30-year-old Rashad Murphy and 27-year-old Davion Murphy. This is surveillance video from June 23rd when 3 gunmen ambushed and shot Charles Jones, a local rapper known as Julio Foolio.
They are shooting at Charles now, and you can see that he's the passenger in that car that's moving and trying to flee. And again, they're still shooting at him. He's the right front passenger in that vehicle.
As the driver of Jones's car tried to get away, the gunman continued shooting. Jones died and 3 others were injured.
Surveillance video was critical in this investigation, as suspects were seen on video following Jones from location to location. This shows the lengths that these individuals were willing to go through and achieve that this murder would occur.
According to police, 5 people drove from Jacksonville, planned and executed Jones's murder. 21-year-old Alicia Andrews, 21-year-old Isaiah Chance, 18-year-old Sean A. Gaithright. 3 are all in Duval County Jail and will soon be transferred to Hillsborough County to face murder charges. Police and the U.S. Marshals are still searching for 30-year-old Rashad Murphy and 27-year-old Davion Murphy. Police believe Jones was shot by members of 2 rival groups that worked together to kill him. State Attorney Susie Lopez will prosecute the case in Hillsborough County and has her own message for the members of those groups.
The ongoing fight between these 2 groups spilled over into Tampa last month. Let me be clear, the feud stops here. All 5 of these defendants are facing life in the Florida State Prison, even the ones who didn't pull the trigger.
Shortly after Jones was shot, one of the 2 rival groups released a video. Sheriff TK Waters and Burkow were asked if others could be arrested in Jones's murder.
So our investigation's still ongoing. Sheriff, if you have any other details that you want to speak onto that?
So Yungeen has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups.
Waters wouldn't speak regarding the Tampa investigation, but did say JSO does not have an investigation on Kiara Bullard, another local rapper known by the name Yungeen Ace. Waters did say the group does not move in Jacksonville without JSO knowing about it. And again, police and the U.S. Marshals are still looking for 30-year-old Rashad Murphy and 27-year-old Davion Murphy. Chief Burkaw with Tampa said he wants the men to turn themselves in so this investigation can end peacefully. If you would like to watch the entire news conference, it's linked in this story right now on our website at newsforjax.com. Joy?
Janice, thanks.
The Jacksonville rapper was known for feuding with other artists and for his involvement in a deadly gang beef. Jones's songs featured violent lyrics and some were about actual murders. It was found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200. Jones was part of the 6 Block gang. Detectives believe that ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville. I want to send a clear message to anyone that the city of Tampa is not where you want to come to settle a dispute, explained Burkow. TPD said the feud between 6 Block and his rival gangs ATK and 1200 has spanned over a decade with dozens of murders by and against both sides. 3 arrests have been made in the deadly shooting on Monday. 21-year-old Isaiah Chance, 21-year-old Alicia Andrews, 18-year-old Sean Gathright, 27-year-old Davion Murphy, and 30-year-old Rashad Murphy are all accused of playing a role in Jones's death. Chance, Andrews, and Gathright were all arrested over the weekend in Jacksonville, more than a month after the crime. According to investigators, Chance and Andrews tracked Jones and his entourage to 2 separate locations. TPD said at each location, they got out of their car and Chance used a cell phone. After using the phone, police said a second suspect vehicle arrived at each location and both vehicles followed Jones and his entourage to the Home 2 Suites location at 11606 McKinley Drive, where the murder happened. At 4:38, 3 shooters exited vehicle and walked in the direction of the hotel. They murdered Jones with a handgun and 2 rifles. This barrage of gunfire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident, said Burkow. Chance, Andrews, and Gathright were all charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, premeditated with the discharge of a firearm, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, according to officials. 3 dangerous criminals are off our Florida streets and in police custody where they belong. These individuals have chosen lives of urban terrorism, Waters said on Monday.
Driver! Open the car door! Let me see your hands! Step on out! Step on out! Look away! Back up to the sound of my voice! Yep. Stop right there. Lift your shirt up. Turn. Do a 360. What? Just listen to us. We'll talk about it. Keep going. Keep going. Turn. Turn. Now walk back to the sound of my voice. Come on. Keep coming. 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 Walk back to me. Right here, right here. Walk right here. Let's go. Yeah.
Walk this way, listen to the instructions.
Yep. Hey, get your hands up and walk out towards me. Hey, over here. Come this way. Over here. You're going to get hit with the less lethal. Get your hands up and walk toward me. Hands up and walk toward me. Hands up and walk toward me. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop. Stop. Turn around. Keep your hands up. Turn around. Hands up. Keep your hands up. Hands up. Don't reach for your waist. Do not reach for your waist. Back up to the sound of my voice. Back up to me. Don't look at me. Back up to me. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. All right, go to your knees. Put your hands behind your back. Stay there. Don't move. Isaiah? Isaiah?
And come out. We have a warrant for your arrest. This is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
All right, contact at front door. Come on out, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Walk to the sound of my voice. Come on, walk to me. 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 Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Keep walking. Now turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Anybody else inside?
Rashad Murphy was the fourth suspect arrested in Jones's murder. It came Tuesday after a standoff with law enforcement. Rashad was tracked down at a Jacksonville apartment complex off of Collins Road by deputies in the U.S. Marshal Service. According to the sheriff's office, JSO, CPR, gang, and SWAT units surrounded the apartment and helped evacuate nearby residents. Rashad Murphy surrendered shortly after midnight, and deputies said it came after hours of negotiations. He's now in custody facing charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder, investigators said.
Well, Keith, we're live at the Preserve Collins apartment where there was a massive response from JSO's SWAT team here overnight. I want you to check out some of this video. The sheriff's office have not confirmed with us why they were here overnight, but there are videos taken from witnesses on social media, and it appears to show that police were looking for one of the 2 remaining suspects in Foolio's murder and eventually took a man into custody. Now, this all comes less than 18 hours after police announced the arrest of 3 other people in connection to the Jacksonville rapper's death. This video shows the moment one of the shooters opened fire on the car Foolio was in. Then the shooters get in 2 cars and flee the area. 3 others were also shot that day, but they survived. At yesterday's news conference, Sheriff TK Waters had a warning for all Floridians.
Florida, Tampa, JSO, Jacksonville, Miami, wherever you are, will not tolerate foolishness, will not tolerate shootings and needless violence.
Now, as of now, we know Alicia Andrews, Isaiah Chance, and Sean Gathright were arrested on Saturday and charged with first-degree murder. No other arrests have been made or have been confirmed by police. But again, we had a SWAT situation here overnight on the west side that appears to have been in connection to this case. We'll keep you posted on air and online with the latest. I'm Tristan Hardy, First Coast News, on your side.
And the kids, please, like, tell them something. I'm talking about the broadcast. Come right now.
Davion Murphy is the final suspect in the deadly Tampa shooting that is still on the run. He is also believed to be one of the shooters responsible for killing the Jacksonville rapper. Authorities are asking anyone with information on his whereabouts to reach out to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
As you all can see, it did look like a movie. It was planned out, and I'm just happy that I finally get a little relief that these guys have been caught.
Today, Tampa police announced the arrest of 3 suspects connected with Jones' murder. They believe they are members of rival Jacksonville gangs that came together to plan and carry out the murder in Tampa.
Tampa is not where you want to come to settle a dispute.
As for Jones' mother, she has a message too.
My son has been rapping since 8 years old. Charles have more music than drill music. Charles has different type of music, but the fans, that's what they glorify. That's what they like. That's what they make go viral.
But Mays says she never glorified the violence.
please don't say that it comes from home, because it doesn't come from home at all. I'm a nurse. I have helped many people in my city with careers. Charles' sister got her master's in education.
All right, y'all. It's drillers and trappers. We still trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!